Hey everyone, welcome to the Simplilearn's YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we will learn about the MCP. Anthropic's MCP, or also known as the Multi-Agent Collaboration Protocol, is a groundbreaking framework designed to enable seamless cooperation and collaboration between multiple AI agents. Unlike traditional single-agent ecosystems, MCP allows agents to specialize, communicate, and coordinate effectively to solve complex tasks. This leads to a faster decision-making, enhanced problem-solving, and more scalable AI systems. One of its key strengths is structured communication, where agents can negotiate rules, share knowledge, and adapt dynamically. With MCP, developers can now build AI ecosystems that behave like more intelligent teams than isolated tools. It marks a significant leap towards building truly autonomous collaborative AI applications. Now, in today's session, we will actually try to work on one, and we will be building a web scraping AI agent using MCP protocols. That said, if these are the type of videos you'd like to watch, then hit that like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to get notified. Also, just that you know, if you want to upskill yourself, master generative AI and artificial intelligence skills to land your dream job or grow in your career, then you must explore Simplilearn's code of various generative AI courses and certifications. Simplilearn offers various certification programs in collaboration with some of the world's leading universities. Through our courses, you will gain knowledge and work-ready expertise in skills like advanced Python, machine learning, generative AI, and over a dozen others. That's not all. You also get the opportunity to work on multiple projects and learn from industry experts working in top-tier data and product companies, along with academics from top universities. After completing these courses, thousands of learners have transitioned into an AI and machine learning role as a fresher or moved on to a higher paying job and profile. If you are passionate about making your career in this field, then make sure to check out the link in the pinned comment and description box below to find a generative AI program that fits your experience and areas of interest. Now, without further delay, let's get started. Now, we will begin with the agenda for MCP tutorial for beginners. So firstly, we will have a quick briefing of what exactly is an MCP, or as it is called, Multi-Agent Collaboration Protocol. Followed by that, we will understand some basic protocols and standards in communication. Next, we will try to relate MCP to the understanding of protocols and standards. Followed by that, we will get started with our demonstration on developing a web scraper agent using MCP. And for that, we will be needing Node.js, Cursor AI, and FireCrawl API. So I will be walking you through those demonstration steps one after the other, and this will be a very beginner-friendly tutorial and practical demonstration on MCP. Now that I've made myself clear with the agenda, let's get started with MCP. So what exactly is MCP? As MCP on their webpage says, MCP is a Model Context Protocol or Multi-Agent Collaboration Protocol is an open source protocol that standardizes how applications supply context to large language models. Similar to how USB-C unifies hardware connections, MCP offers a consistent way to integrate AI models with various data sources and tools. Now let's go to the official documentation of MCP to have a broader overview. So, as they say, MCP is one such tool if you remember N8N and all the AI tools and data sources that you used. For example, if you wanted an AI travel agent, as we have an already existing tutorial on our channel, you can go through it for a brief overview. So you might be needing an email writing agent, and you might be needing an airport code searching AI agent, hotel searching AI agent, flight booking AI agent, and a lot of agents connected to one another through a complex network using an N8N platform, right? Now, in this particular MCP, that will be minimized. So you will have a standardized approach where you just eliminate all those boilerplate coding, agents, manual searching for databases, manual search for knowledge bases, manual search for agents, which are specifically designed for the purpose. You just explain your initiative, attach the API keys, and MCP takes over and gives you a fully furnished and finished product within no time. That's the main approach of MCP. So here you can see an overview image where we have the parts MCP host, clients, servers, local data sources, remote services, and local data sources. If you wanted to go ahead with local data sources or local knowledge base, you can go ahead with that. But in case if you wanted some open source, then you can also go ahead with that. So here we have all the quick starts and guides and example and tutorials to how to begin with that one, and all the explore pages that you want to go ahead with if you wanted to have a deep dive into core architecture, the resources available, prompts, tools, transport samplings, and a lot more. And in case if you wanted to contribute your dedicated resources for the community, you can also go ahead with that. And you can also have some support and feedback for MCP. Now that we have a brief understanding of MCP and still clueless about what exactly is MCP, then let's go ahead with some standards and protocols so that you can get a template and you can relate MCP to that template and understand what's the role or importance of MCP in AI agent development. Now, understanding the standards and protocols. Now, let us imagine that you get a team of people to work on a project, and you are the manager that leads and directs this particular team for a purpose, right? Now, the complex problem. No one is friend of anyone. Everyone is new to everyone on the team. And each and every person in this team belongs to a different country and doesn't have a common language in between. For example, person A speaks Mandarin, person B speaks Hindi, person C speaks French, so on. There is no common language between any one of those. Now imagine each and every one of these team members as an AI agent or a tool working for the purpose. In this scenario, you might have to hard code the ports of communication, instructions on how to do, and you need to go on to each and every single AI agent and explain the stuff in a very dedicated and a specific way. This could take a very long time. In the same way, if you relate this to a person, then you might have to reach to every single person and speak to them in their own tongue and explain them the procedures and the steps to be taken to finish the task. Now, how would you do that? It would be a lot complex. Mandarin, you might not even know French or a different language. And in that particular scenario, you might be stuck. What if there was one single language that everyone knew? For example, English. Now you can get all of them together and explain the stuff in one single call and close it. And what might be so wonderful is that you'll not even waste a lot of time and there is no hard coding, there is no manual effort there, right? In the same way, if you relate this to a web server, then you are the client, you have the server, and you just, let's say you're working on Facebook or Instagram, you try to post something, you try to write a comment, you try to like something, right? That is the activity. And these particular activities will go through 4 different types of requests. One is the get request, put request, post request, and last is the delete request, right? Now, if you are connected to a single server, this might not be as tough as possible. But if you are getting connected to multiple servers, then you might be requiring different protocols every single time. Now, this can be a combination of 2 parts, HTTP and the URL that you're trying to get connected to, right? Now, to eliminate the efforts between multiple servers and multiple requests at one go, you have one single tool called as API. And the most popular API is the REST API, which has a standard way of communicating. So here, the REST API works as the language English that we discussed before. In the same way, it has maintained a standard where each and every web client can have his communication to his dedicated server or multiple servers in one go using one single language or medium or standard, that is REST API. Without REST API and the standards and protocols, it might be very confusing and you might end up in a complex situation which might not yield in the type of result you're expecting. Now, if you can relate the development of multiple AI agents for a single purpose to the web communication and a meeting, you also expect if there were a template for development of AI agents which could make the process less complex, just like REST API did in a web service and just like English did in a team meeting, then MCP comes into the picture. MCP is your template for it, right? So just like your REST API and the meetings, you have a MCP. Earlier, without MCP, we used to have one tool called NA10 where you had all the tools connected to it and all the LLMs programmed to it, and you had to do this hard coding for each and every tool that you have included in the network and each and every agent that you have related to it. You had to specifically instruct, write down steps, develop a persona to your AI agent, right? There was a lot of stuff. But if you eliminate this particular complexity with one tool, then that would be your MCP. You just had to include MCP and tell your purpose, and your job would be done. Now that you have a brief understanding or a general overview of what exactly is MCP, now let's go ahead and build one. Now, the steps would include the following. For the project that we are building, which is a web crawler or web scraper, we might need the help of Node.js. So firstly, we will install and set the environment for Node.js. Followed by that, we will be needing an editor. So for that, we will be choosing the Cursor AI editor. And next, we will use an API. So for that, we will be using the FireCrawl API. And lastly, we can get started with building one once we have all the required resources. So let's get started. So as we discussed before, we will get started by installing Node.js into our operating system. So we're working on Windows operating system. So we might have to go ahead with Windows. So I'll choose Windows, and the architecture will be the one which I'm working with. So that would be x64. But in case if you are working with a different operating system, say Mac OS, then you might have to select ARM or any suitable architecture that you can be compatible with. For Linux, you'll have to choose with the same, and so on. So since we're working with Windows, so Windows it is, and x64 architecture, and click on that Windows installer MSI file. So it will be getting started to install, and you'll have to click on that Windows installer.msi file and it'll get downloaded. While it is getting downloaded, let's go to the next web page and download and install the Cursor AI that we will be needing for this demonstration today. You'll have to log in, create an account and log in, and automatically it will give you the version that suits our operating system. Since we are in Windows, it gave me a Windows operating system. Just sign up or log in. So since you have already an account, just log into your account and confirm it's that you, and followed by that, you'll have installed your Cursor AI. Choose your theme. I'll go with the Cursor Dark theme. And here you make sure that you have Cursor tab, Control K agent, and you can also choose the data sharing option. I'll go with the privacy mode. In case if you want the other one, go ahead with that. And here you have a few review settings, and there you go. Now you're on the new window for Cursor AI. And meanwhile, let's check on the Node.js installation. I think the wizard has already started installing the Node.js setup. So this is the window. Let's quickly go through each and every instance that we have gone through so far in this particular window from the beginning. So it started off with some packages that we would be needing. So yeah, Chocolatey and KB299. Yeah, further we have, and the last one is Python 13, right? Version 3.13.3 is approved. So far, so good. I think we can now get started with the next step. So here we are on the Cursor AI. So we might have to get started going through the Cursor AI settings to create our new MCP. So there are quite a few methods that you can try out to reach to settings. One is you can go to the file, and there you may have to choose the preferences, and then you have the Cursor settings. You just can use that particular step, or you can go ahead with the search options as well. So you can use that step, or you can also use the other step where you can just go to the search window and search for settings. Here you can see MCP on the left window. So let me also walk you through a few other steps. So go to the search window and type down Cursor AI or Cursor settings. I think there has been a discrepancy, but not to worry. We'll go with the regular approach where we go to the file, preferences, and Cursor settings. And there you have the options on the left hand side. Go to MCP, and so far you don't have any MCP servers because this is the first time you've logged into Cursor AI. So you just have to add new global MCP server, which is available on the blue color button. Just click on that. And now you'll have a MCP.json file which is completely empty. You'll have to write down a few hard-coded codes here, which are not too complex related to the earlier ones that you have worked on in A10. So you might need a few more tools here. So go to the FireCrawl website. Before that, let's go through some awesome MCP servers GitHub link. So here we have almost all information related to the MCP. So let's open a new window and open all these links. What is MCP, clients, tutorials, community, legend, server implementations, framework, tips and tricks, right? For further information, you can go through all these web pages individually. So back to the home page, here you have everything you needed. The basic information of what exactly is MCP, and further you have some server implementations. Like if you scroll down, so you have awesome MCP services. This is where the beginning is. And next you have server implementations, aggregators, art and culture, coding execution, right? Customer data platforms. So here you have aggregators, art and culture, dedicated web spaces. So, and you have also cloud platforms that you can work along with. And moving further, you have code executions, coding agents, command lines as well, and communication related stuff. So you can go along and perform your operations, customer data or platforms, data platforms, and much more. Let's close all these windows and get started with the next stage where we need an API, right? So for that, the project that we're working on, which is web crawler, we will be needing an API from one of the providers, which is FireCrawl API. Okay, that's the one, FireCrawl MCP. So that's the one. Click on that particular link. Here, to generate an API, first you might have to sign up with FireCrawl. So before we sign up, let's go through the website of FireCrawl from the beginning. So that's the template code that you'll be working on. And also here we have a wide variety of crawl options, media parsing options, smart weight actions, right? Reliability first and all those things. And also we have the pricing details. For now, we'll go ahead with the free plan. And yeah, let me add down my details, my email address, and you might also have to add a password. So let me type down something. Yeah, so the password is not too strong enough. That's a good thing. They have a really strong website. So that's a sign you need to have strong passwords, and also make sure that you don't share your passwords and the API keys that you generate using FireCrawl. Now that my password is a little too longer, I think it should be access. Yeah, it's accessible and is a successful account generation. Now you need to check your email and confirm that login credentials are right and everything. So once you are signed up, let's go through another website for generating our API keys. So FireCrawl API, scroll a little bit. So API documentation. So here you'll find some documentation related to FireCrawl and all the details that you need to go through for API key generation. So FireCrawl MCP server. Yeah, that's the website that we're looking for. FireCrawl MCP server. That's the one. And here you have overview, content, tools, and other resources that you're looking for. Now, this is the template server configuration that you'll be needing. So make sure that you have an eye on it. And now you will also have the details that you might have to go through. Like basically, it'll have the steps that you need to follow in the content page. Click on content. There you go. So it has all the features and details that you need to go ahead with. And tools, you have the crawling, extraction, scraping tools that you can work along with FireCrawl, and a few comments here. Now, yeah, the email has not been confirmed yet. Let's try to resend and reconfirm the email so that we just sign up or log in and create our API keys as soon as possible. So there you go. I have verified my email in my phone. So I'll just enter the credentials and sign in. Successful, you are signed in. On the left hand side, you can see the overview, playground, extract, activity logs, usage, API keys, and all the settings. So here you can see my API key has been by default hidden, so I'll not visualize it now. So you have two options, either view or copy. So we will be copying it for the first time to be on the safe side. So since we are new to this particular website, so we don't have any activities registered on this particular web page. So now we have the API keys. Now let's go to the content page to verify the steps that we need to follow. So we need to install npm and we need to go to the cursor AI settings and add a new MCP server, which we already did. So we just need to copy the template code and we just need to place it there. And also don't worry about where exactly to place your API keys in the template. We have that place. So we are back on the cursor AI. Now we will replace this template code with the code that we just copied. And remember, if you're using Windows, try cmd/c. Okay. If you're not on Windows, you can eliminate that cmd/c. But if you are working in Windows, then you definitely need that cmd/c. Okay, let's erase this and replace that. So I'll name my tool as FireCrawl. And I'll go to the new line where I'll write down my command, and the command will be the code that I just copied from the FireCrawl window. So let me type down the command in double quotes in the new line, and I'll paste the command here, which is the code that we copied from the FireCrawl window. Control V. There you go. So the white stuff, which is in cmd/c, so that's the one you need to focus on. If you are working on Windows, that you definitely need it. If you're not working on Windows, then you can just omit it. Now, there might be some concerns with the codes, don't worry. Now, to cross-verify, you can just go back to the FireCrawl homepage and cross-verify it with the template for configuration that they have made us available. Let's go back to the FireCrawl window, and at the same time, you can see your API key here. So that's where you need to place your API key. So here we are on the FireCrawl window. You need to copy the API key and place it in the place where they have mentioned your API key. So if you have cross-verified with the configuration code, that's fine. And now you can just check the double quotes. So that's the one you need to focus on. Let me if there is a way to zoom it in, let me try to zoom in. Yeah, that's the one, cmd/c. If you're on Windows, you definitely need this. If you're not on Windows, you can just choose to omit it. Now let me just do one last final check. I think I missed a double quote somewhere. Yeah, I need to remove it from this place and add it to the end. Just a second. Okay, remove the double quote at that place. Now it should be after MCP. And once everything is done, you can just quickly choose to save and close this particular window. Check the distance between the API key and the double ampersand places. That's fine. And saving is really simple. Choose those three dots, close, save. And once that is clicked, it's all done. You get to choose to close this particular MCP.json file and get back to your agent. So once you have closed it, you will have your new server that you've just created in the cursor settings. But in a few times you get no tool connected, no server connected, or there might be some errors. So in that case, you just need to cross-verify the npm installation, Node.js installation, and check all the files that are there or not. But even if everything is installed and you can see the versions available, and if you're still seeing this or watching that particular error, then don't worry, just close the cursor AI and restart it, or you can also choose the refresh option, which is right available there. So I've closed and restarted it, and the same procedure, go to File, Preferences, Cursor Settings, and there you'll see the MCP models, and there you'll find it right there, correct? Now close it and go to the window where you'll find the server. Yeah, that's the one. And here you choose the agent. Make sure that you choose the agent instead of anything else. Not manual, not ask. I choose the agent. And now I'll write down a simple prompt. Search for Simplilearn on Google. Now it should give me results which it finds on Google. Maybe it's a home page, maybe it's a social media handle like LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram, anything that it finds related to Simplilearn. Only the term Simplilearn. So here you can see it has given me 3 different results. First one is Simplilearn website. Second one is Simplilearn YouTube channel, and the third one is LinkedIn page. So let's get started with the official web page. So click on the simplilearn.com. Now, it's asking me permission, open. Now we are on Simplilearn homepage. Similarly, let's go back and select for the YouTube page. So that's the one. Open again, get permissions. So you're on the Simplilearn YouTube page. Now I think it might ask for a login for LinkedIn. But anyways, let's try to check if it can open without logging in to LinkedIn or not. So yeah, you can see I've logged into the YouTube. Yeah, it is asking me to log in. So let's quickly log in. It might take a couple of seconds. So there you go. I've logged into LinkedIn. Now open. So I can see Simplilearn's homepage getting loaded in a second. Yeah, there you go. On LinkedIn, we have opened the Simplilearn's homepage successfully. So that's how you build an AI agent for web scraping using AI Cursor, Web Crawler, and MCP. If you have any queries regarding any of the topics covered in this session, or if you require any of the resources that we have used in this session, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to assist you at the earliest. Until next time, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.